We'll get into our forecast conditions in just a moment because we have some showers and some storms on the way. But in Texas, we have been dealing, or they have been dealing, thankfully we haven't been dealing with massive floods as they have. Storms that came through bringing flooding rains, people having to be rescued from their vehicles. And so it's been a record month for rain in Texas. Let's take a look, though, here at home and what's expected with our weather conditions. But before we do that, we have to talk about a very important anniversary coming this weekend. Thank you so much for that, Kevin. Let's take a look at our forecast conditions for this afternoon. We're still in the mild temperatures, mid-20s, high 20s, although this is very comfortable because there's not that much in the way of humidity. So it's not making it feel sticky and soupy. It's actually closer to feeling like the actual core temperature itself. Saturday morning, look at this. I mean, a morning temperature of 19 in Toronto, so a beautiful start. Although it will be likely a lot cloudier on Saturday than today in anticipation of thunderstorms. There's a wide risk for thunderstorms across southern Ontario and into Montreal, Ottawa as well. Toronto's included in that on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we should start to see at least a little bit in the way of improvements. So the rainfall coming through, this is the Saturday afternoon temperatures with the values sitting in the mid-20s. Just looking ahead to Sunday, sun and cloud, yes. And the temperatures are going to be a lot cooler. Look at this, 15 degrees. That's when the temperature drops. And then we're going to be seeing a spell of some cooler air for a couple of days. Then we'll rebound likely back up into the 20s once again. So the forecast for Monday sitting in the mid-teens. But there you go, 25 degrees by next Thursday. And we're reminded that we here in Canada can see some massive tornadoes, just like we see in Oklahoma and Texas, right? So let's take a look at our must-see video first. I want to take you now to New Brunswick. This is in Fredericton, where it was in Fredericton yesterday. Today, we're 17, maybe a few little isolated showers. It's possible we may even see some late afternoon showers in Hamilton today. But the thunderstorm risk for Saturday now is right across southern Ontario. And today, down through the southwest, we do have the potential for some rain showers. So the forecast totals are way higher to the north. But across the 401 corridor into southern Quebec, we're generally looking at between 15 and, say, 20 millimeters. But again, locally, with thunderstorms, like in the southwest, those totals can go up pretty dramatically. So this is the forecast as we look ahead to Saturday. We've got the instability with us. Let's take a quick look at our 7-day forecast. I think I can get there for us. Long-range details now, and especially, we've got much cooler temperatures expected for the end of the weekend and a warming trend next week. So what's in store? Well, Saturday we have the risk of some thunderstorms right across Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, Hamilton, all included in the risk for thunderstorms. Might we see severe storms? It's possible. Unlikely, but we're certainly looking at muggy conditions, and the winds will be picking up in strength as well. So we've got the rain on the way. We will see some thunderstorms within this, but again, the risk is such a wide area, it's very difficult to pinpoint exactly, precisely where they're going to be. So that's the best solution that we can have, is to say this is the zone that we've got to be aware of where there's potential. Saturday afternoon temperatures, mid-20s. The increased humidity, yeah, it's going to start to build a little bit over the next coming days, but looking at some clearing and some cooler temperatures by Sunday. And by cooler, we're talking about 15 degrees as a daytime high, which is below seasonal. And then we'll rebound once again to next week. So the forecast temperatures on Sunday, 13 in Windsor, 14 for Toronto, and up toward Ottawa, still sitting in the mid-teens. What about Monday? Well, Monday's still looking to be a little bit on the cool side. We're still talking about 15, 17 degrees in that range. So really not much of a change here expected. But we will have high pressure on both Sunday and Monday, meaning that we still have lots of sunshine, and we'll have a high UV index, for example. Looking ahead to Tuesday, here's where it starts to climb up once again. So now we're back up into the 19 range and 17. Also by this time frame, just as a programming note, we will have released our summer forecast by this time. So I suppose the weather is behaving in the manner it should, considering that we're going to be talking about summer weather. I'm Sheryl Plouffe with your weather update. We will get into your forecast details for the weekend ahead. We've got some cooler temperatures on the way. I'll tell you how cool in just a moment. First, though, some must-see video. This is a huge volcanic eruption that happened in Japan. It's called Mount Shindake. Hundreds of people were forced to evacuate. There was smoke and ash, obviously, as you can see here. But this also sparked a 4.0 magnitude earthquake. And they actually ended up issuing, the Japan Meteorological Service, I believe it was, issued the highest level of volcanic alert that they can, which is a level 5. Let's take a look at what's happening here at home, though. We know all about emergencies here in Ontario, and we certainly knew that in 1985. All right, thank you very much for that, Kevin. The temperatures this afternoon are, look how hot they are, Barrie 29 versus the mid-20s as you get closer to Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. So the mild conditions continue on Saturday. It's also going to lead to instability or potential for some storms, and then the temperatures will drop after the cold front. So Saturday morning, look at the Saturday morning temperatures. This is a great day to get outside and do some gardening or some yard work. There will be more cloud cover than today, but watch for the storms. Be on the alert to be listening for some rumbles of thunder because there's a widespread risk of thunderstorms in southern Ontario and across portions of cottage country into Saturday. The rainfall totals, not excessive unless we get thunderstorms. Then locally, those totals will be higher. So Saturday afternoon temps, we're talking about the mid-20s. Thank you so much for that, Kelly. And what a story. It's just a reminder that we here in Ontario can get some very severe storms. And we have potential for some active weather on Saturday, although we're not looking at necessarily an elevated risk for tornadoes necessarily. This is the short-term forecast to help you plan for your day ahead. This afternoon, sunshine, 25 degrees. The overnight low might bring us, it's 17, but it might bring us some isolated showers. There will be a lot more in the way of cloud cover starting off in the mid-morning and the afternoon in anticipation of possibly some thunderstorms. There's a wide risk, Ottawa, Montreal included, Huntsville, so up and toward cottage country, the Kawarthas, down toward the southwest near Lake Erie. In fact, today, down toward Windsor and Chatham, London even, there is the risk for some more thunderstorm activity and maybe some of those showers reaching up toward Welland or Niagara Falls, down toward Hamilton. Other than that, it's mostly a Saturday event. So we're looking at between 5 and 20 millimeters on the higher end of it, but with thunderstorms, we can locally see higher amounts. So showers and thunderstorms on the way. There's the timestamp. You can see, though, we're talking about later today and then tomorrow a wider spread risk of thunderstorms across southern Ontario. And Sunday, we have much cooler temperatures on the way. I'm Sheryl Plouffe looking ahead to the weekend weather. Depending on what it is you have planned, if you don't mind rain and showers, then Saturday is your day because it's milder. Sunday will be cooler, but likely a little bit brighter. So I'll tell you about the timing of all of that coming up in the regions in just a second. First, though, must-see video from Fredericton if you want to know what a big thunderstorm looks like. This is what it was in Fredericton yesterday. So lots of heat there. Here at home, we don't have much in the way of humidity any longer, but the temperatures are still mild. And more details on your forecast just a second. First, though, let's talk about a very important anniversary that's coming up this weekend. So let's get into some long-range details, and this is what we'll talk about, an abrupt end to summer weather. It's also going to get a lot cooler, but then warming up next week once again. So we still have the risk of some thunderstorms on Saturday across southern Ontario. Timing on this front that's coming through is more so later in the day, but in advance of it. So prefrontal potential for storms. That might help to rob some of the energy that would come with the cold front itself in the evening time. So we'll just have to watch to see how this all plays out. Whether or not we see any watches or warnings remains to be seen, but it is favorable for storms on Saturday. By contrast, Sunday is a lot cooler. The cold front will have passed through. The temperatures will have gone down. We're talking temperatures here in the mid-teens, not only for Sunday, but Monday too.
This weather segment has been brought to you by new Quaker soft-baked oatmeal cookies. Do you think they're nutritious or delicious?